It's hard to come up with the 8. There's some obvious ones. So Westlaw Next, Lexis Advance, Bloomberg Law are kind of the traditional legal research databases. Then you have things like Hein Online, which students use when they're site checking articles for journals. But some of the others were a little bit harder. Books in the library was an obvious one because that's kind of the basis of all legal research, even if you're doing it online. But then I wanted to fill it out to get the complete 8. And databases like Fastcase, even though we don't use it at the law school, it's worth knowing about because it's a great, much cheaper alternative to the more expensive database. Is a good thing for people to know about once they're going out to practice law. And then critical thinking, kind of the oddball of the group, is there because that's something we talk about in all our legal research classes. You've got to think critically about what you're doing. That's really more important than whatever particular database you're using. To me, it wasn't much of a surprise, but critical thinking made it into the championship round where it is battling Westlaw Next for the championship. To me, that wasn't much of a surprise because, like I said, that's something we teach in all our classes, that critical thinking is really more important than any particular database that you're using. But I think that might have been a surprise for a lot of people. Maybe the fact that a database like Lexis Advance lost out in the first round might have been surprising to people, but it's all about the matchups. You know, if Lexis Advance happened to be matched up against critical thinking in the first round, and it turned out that critical thinking made it all the way to the championship, so maybe that wasn't so much of a surprise. If Lexis Advance had been matched up with somebody else, like Bloomberg Law, maybe they would have gone a little bit further. So that's kind of what made it fun, you know, thinking about how these databases compare directly to one another. Yeah, I think there's a value in not necessarily using all databases, but there's a definite value in knowing what is available to you so that you can use the best database for your purposes. So, for example, Hein Online may not be your go-to database for general legal research, but absolutely for site checkers, that's the go-to database. It's got PDFs of all the different documents they need for site checks, and so you want to know what's out there. And so that's kind of the goal of this whole tournament, was really just letting people know, here's a bunch of different databases, here's what they're good at, here's some things maybe they're not so good at, but keep these in mind for different research purposes you might have.